If you feel like you're overspending every single month, it might not even be your budget. It might just be that you're not asking the right questions before the week even begins.
Hey, if you don't know us, I'm Larry.
I'm Hope.
And we're from Under the Median, where practical frugality meets real life. And that's what we're going to talk about today, real life in our frugality.
So the whole theme of this month on the channel is budgeting in such a way that you don't run out of money before the end of the month, because this is a super common problem. Now today we're really going to hone in on a specific system that we use. There are 3 questions that you need to be asking yourself at the beginning of every single week, and this truly will help you to make sure that you gauge your week in such a way that you're not overspending before the week is done, and thus not overspending before the month is done.
What we find is that it's not usually a big mistake that we've made that causes overspending. It's a little bit of lack of planning. So these questions will help you plan so that you don't overspend. So let's get right into it. Question number 1 is, what must I absolutely spend this week? These would be things like bills that are coming in, things you can't change, things you have to pay when they come in, and they're on a set schedule.
Sometimes what happens is that you plan all of the, we'll call it periphery things, the changeable items in your budget. You plan for all of those, but you neglect to remember that you've got major bills that are coming due this week. First of all, we use a worksheet. The 3 questions are on this worksheet that we use. This is the one we just filled out last night. We're recording this on a Monday. We do this on a Sunday where we sit down and ask ourselves these big 3 questions. And if you want a copy of this worksheet, I put all the worksheets that we'll talk about in this 4-part series, we put them into a workbook, and you can grab a copy of that workbook. I'll make sure that there's a link to it in the video description. But back to the worksheet. You're going to ask yourself what has to be paid before you look at everything that is negotiable for the week. You forget that, oh yeah, the water bill is going to come due, or the energy bill is going to come due. Here's the big tip. If you're paid like bi-weekly, Larry was paid bi-weekly for a very, very long time. See if there's a way that you can ask the company to have your bill shifted from, let's say you've got 5 bills that are due every single month, and 4 of them are with that first paycheck, and you only got 1 little loan bill that is being paid for technically by that second paycheck. Even it out. We did this, and it helped tremendously. If you don't see a place on, like our utility company website has a button, you can push it and say, when do you want your bill to come due every single month? So that's easy peasy. If you can't find that, call them and ask, is there a way I can shift my bill down to later in the month? And a lot of times they can do that for you.
So this first question just gives you some kind of clarity. These are things that can't change, and these are things you have to build your budget around for the other 2 questions. Well, let's go to that second question.
I insinuated this. What will fluctuate this week? This is where we ask ourselves things like, are there events coming up this week that we need to prepare for? When is this going to happen? And how much money do I have set aside for this? Other things that are like getting together with friends, or if you have kids, there's always like parties coming up at school that you need to set aside money for. What are those things that are happening? Because events that happen throughout your week can often change the amount of money you spend.
And maybe you've done some extra driving and you have to fill your gas tank up twice instead of once. So that definitely has a major impact. And along with this, prices rising has an impact as well. You have your grocery budget and you go to the store and you find out that 6 out of 10 items have gone up, and they're now slightly outside of the amount of money that you had set aside for them.
Which is why you are going to set your grocery list before you ever leave for the grocery store, and you're going to look online and get those prices before you walk out the door so that you know that what you buy is going to fit within that weekly grocery budget allotment.
Question number 3 is, what are our intentional choices of money spending this week? Now, these are things that we're planning on doing. We intentionally decide to spend money on them. That means we have money budgeted for them if we're careful about it.
These are things that we're like, you know what? We don't have to spend this money. We're probably
we
going to
don't
buy
have to.
groceries this week.
Yeah.
That's the variable expense. We're probably going to pay our water bill this week. At least I think we should. I'm just saying.
We like to drink water.
That is a fixed expense because the bill has already come. So you got a fixed expense example, you got a variable expense. And now these are things that, do we have to go out for coffee with our friends? No, but we haven't done it in a long time, so we're going to do it. These are intentional spending choices. But even intentional choices should have two things in common. One, they should be on the calendar. And number two, you should have a set budget for doing those things before you ever walk out the door.
The problem comes in this area when you start acting on impulse for these intentional choices that are actually not very intentional if you're acting
At that point,
on
they're not.
impulse. So if you're acting on impulse, then you're pulling money out of your budget that may not be there for it.
And what does this look like in real life for us? 20 minutes, one worksheet. This is what it looks like. Our entire week of how much money we intend to spend over the next 7 days is right here on this worksheet, and it takes us 20 minutes on a Sunday night to prep for the entire week.
And remember, if you want these worksheets, we'll leave a link in the description of this video.
What are the results for us of using this system? And this is just 3 questions. So throughout this 4-part series, by the time we get to the 4th part of this series, we're going to make sure that we tell you an exact overview of everything that is included in what we do on our Sunday night budget meetings. Now, if you don't want to miss that video, the best way to do it is to make sure you subscribe to Under the Median. And do us a super big favor real quick. Give this video a thumbs up because that's super helpful for us. Ultimately, because this is great to talk about systems, right? To talk about 20 minutes, Sunday night, worksheet. What is it? I always want to say what's in it for you, right? You're not going to have that moment of panic.
Right.
You're not going to get to the last 10 days of the month and think, oh my goodness, I completely and totally forgot about XYZ, because you're checking in once every 7 days. The result for us was that when we found ourselves having that, and it wasn't just a once in a while panic, it was a every 10 days of the month panic where we felt like, holy cow, now we got to stretch all of this money or this little bit of money that's left for the last 10 days of the month. That went away. And now we feel like we're far more prepared and we're very confident when we start Monday that we're going to get to Friday and not have as many spending regrets, right? And we know how much money is coming in, how much money is going out in that 7-day period.
This way, our budget is actually working for us, not against us. We feel like we're in charge and we are on top of it. So it gives us a great peace of mind to do a little extra planning. You stay on top of it and you don't find yourself falling under the pile as often.
Now, a little bit earlier in this video, I told you that there are 4 reasons why you have that last 10 days of the month panic. The 4 reasons that happens, we talked about it in a video. It's the first part of this 4-part series. That video is right over there. Go give it a watch next if you haven't watched it or if you need a quick review.